How did he solve it?
By commanding
Yeah, he commanded them to do what?
to go
Go out.
and
Yeah.
do what I've told
Go
you.
out.
I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I
go
should've just
out.
answered the bell.
Go out there, and when you go out there, I'm going to heal your vision. Your vision.
Right. So
Your vision. This is our goal. This is heading us towards that goal, okay? He's trying to get us here to see how I see. Know what I know, okay? The only way is find out what I gave you. Get a taste of what I gave you, okay? You're going to be visiting people under that effect, you know? And our exercise this week, our class project, was go out and just walk the halls, you know? Just go into one of the places, you know, and just go down the halls, you know? Just go down the halls. Walk past the doors, okay? And the reason why is because we're doing that. We're not leaving our houses. We're not going down and walking the halls. But if you go down and walk the halls, then it's the same as what Christ did here. We're realizing who we are, that we don't do it, that we're short of it. Okay? When we stay out and we stay in the comfort of our home, we're not realizing how much abandonment we have and what we're leaving to the social healing system. We don't realize it. Okay? So my exercise, I thought, well, Christ sent him out. I said, let's go out. Let's go walk the halls. Let's go past all the doors. On the other side of those doors, don't open them. On the other side of those doors is somebody who hasn't received what's freely been given. They're incapacitated. They're not home with their family. They're waiting, you know, in this trap where that is money-driven system for healing. Walk past the door. Don't go in it, okay? There's far too much apprehension. You know, I have to go in there and sit with that person, you know. Well, skip that this week. Just walk past. You know why? Because we're doing it anyway. Staying in our home is no different than walking past that door. But if we could see as we walk past that door then that's what I'm doing at home, then we can realize, you know, that we haven't freely received, you know, what we've been given. We haven't received it. We really haven't received it. We don't realize what we've been given. The power, the authority over sin. We're just not picking it up. And that's our vision. It's a vision problem, okay? Because we're looking with these eyes and not with the eyes of our soul, not with the eyes of our heart. We're looking with corporeal eyes. So that was my hope, that we could do that. Go to a hospital, go to a nursing home, and just walk the halls. Don't open the doors, because going in is scary. Going in without relying on faith is, the situation's impossible. It's not. It will never happen. These people can't be. The sin can't be driven away. Can't be forgiven by Christ's power and authority. Okay, except by faith. So walk past, because that's what we're doing anyway. We're actually physically not doing it, but we're doing it in our mind and heart. We're leaving that alone. Don't talk about it. Don't go there. Don't see it. Don't touch it. Don't handle it. Right, exactly. So I had to deal with it with my wife, who was ill, chronically ill, and I spent almost a full year in the hospital. I slept in carports when she was in intensive care. They wouldn't let me in the room. Then when she was not in intensive care, I could sleep in the room. But I slept in the halls a year. I spent in the hospital, and the Lord was telling me, I said, why aren't you healing her? And he said, because I need you to open your eyes. I got to get your eyes open. I said, I'm praying every day for you to heal her. And he said, there's nothing wrong with your faith of healing, but that's not my goal. I need your eyes open. I need you to pay attention, And so now I have this ministry. So this is what I do all the time now, is get this out, get this understanding out. So, it cost Michelle her life, cost my wife her life, but it's huge. It's like I began to realize, what's been freely given, I'm receiving it. I received it. I took it in. And that's the problem right there. That's why Christ sent the disciples out, not because they were the cat's meow, but because they were blind and they needed their eyes open. He said, you don't see what I've freely given you. You don't realize what's in my name, who I am. So he said, go and offer it to the people still entrapped, and you're going to find out what you got. You realize it'll hit you one day, like, oh my goodness. So what happened when they came back? Who remembers what happened when they came back?
They were in awe.
They were all pumped up. Yeah, they were all pumped up. He couldn't give that to them without them going out.
Their faith was increased.
He couldn't do that to them. That had to come out of them. They had to receive what was freely given. That's what the whole lesson was about. It wasn't about healing. He could heal anybody he wanted, one at a time, walk to name, heal the kid coming out, the mother coming out with the dead son. He could walk one at a time. He could do this. But he said, I got to form this church. My body's got to become millions, take form and shape of me in the world, because to deal with the sin. So he's telling us now in this dispensation, go out. But don't go out with the attitude that you're going to eradicate the effects of sin in the world. Go out to learn what I gave you. So if we could do that, then the pressure's off. I got to go out and I got to stop the effects of sin. I got to heal arms and legs and eyes and, no. Go learn what you got. Go find out who you are in Christ, how valuable, how precious, how powerful His name is. Go find out how great that is. That's the lesson in healing. And so the church is poo-pooing it. How many churches care about it and teach it? If somebody's sick, what do? What's the standard procedure in a church?
We'll pray for them.
Okay, what else? What else do you do? Send the pastor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Some churches go and visit them in the hospital.
Sure.
Pray for them or bring them a treat or something.
Absolutely. Do they go on the premise, though, of learning what they have received?
They're going out thinking they're giving something away.
That's exactly.
I think it depends why the person's in the hospital. Like if it's someone who's battling cancer or something and
Okay.
it's a cancer survivor, they might give them like tips and tricks or how prayer helped them or something
Okay.
like that.
But healing in the name that we may know that the Son of God, that the Son of God on earth has power to forgive sins. Do they understand that the premise of that it is sin that is driving what they're dealing with, that they're fighting sin. They're not fighting medical ignorance or money or anything else except their trust and their faith in Jesus Christ, in that name. See, that's the problem, is we're trying to peel this banana of all these things, each thing that is in the way. And so this visitation practice, going out and not opening the door, is to find out what we're really like. We're really not opening that door. We're really not engaging that person who's in that trap. We're really not realizing what we've been freely given. Because if we were, we would have the elation of the disciples when they came back. Do you ever go in a patient's room and say, "Woo, I'm here. Guess what? You're not going to believe this." You know, do we do that, or is it solemn and worrisome and prayerful, and, you know, we're very modest about our behavior, and, you know, we're careful, suppressed, pressed down, you know? We are nothing like what the disciples were. Christ said, "What was it like?" I said, "Wow." It was amazing.
Right.
You know, it was amazing. And so if we were in that attitude, then we would be rejoicing at the opening up of our minds and heart to what we've been freely been given. We don't have that. So I'm going to keep the exercise on the table. You got time this week. It doesn't matter. You can go to the hospital at 10 at night as long as you can get in the door. I used to find all the open doors at Cleveland Clinic at night. I'd go in through the employees' doors and sanitation doors, because if I went out for a walk or went out to get some food for the wife or something, the hospital doors were shut, but I got in. You can get in. If you want in there, you can get in. I'll tell you, go walk the halls. Don't go in the rooms, because what we're doing is trying to figure out what we're doing. We're trying to see what we're really like. What we're really like is we don't go. We don't go in those rooms. It's a confrontation place. It's not a confrontation place with the person. It's a confrontation with our faith, with what we believe, with what our hope is. You understand that? That's the tussle right there. Okay? So walk past the door and say, "This is my life. I walk past these doors by staying at home. This is my life. This is what I do. This is really what I'm like. This is the measure of my faith. This is who I am." Okay? Go do the exercise. It's great. I was out there today. I did walk past doors, but I also visited a person. It's very interesting. We're out of time, but I'll tell you about it next week. But are you understanding what our goal is? and where we're at. We're still in this peripheral area where we're way away from our target. So what are these layers? How do we peel this back? How do we pull that back and expose a way to go down to this point or rise up to the point where we see as God sees? What's in between there, okay? Christ started the disciples on their way. You know, he said, go in my name, and offer freely the power of my name to those people. See what happens. Aim the power of my name at what sin encumbrances they have. Well, which ones? Who did he aim? Who did he tell them to aim it at?
The oppressed.
Repentant
Sick.
people? Sorry people? No. Who did he say to aim it at?
He just said to go and do it. So
Everyone.
everyone.
Everybody.
Yeah, because
Go into town, and every person who will accept it, who will accept what you're doing, let them have it.
Send them evangelize.
Give it to them.
He sent them evangelize.
didn't it cause a problem too, some way, somehow? Like they got the wrong people rallied in together. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one.
Oh, well, the problem is when we bring corporeal evaluations into it. That's the problem. Okay? Well, you shouldn't heal this person. You can't heal that person. You can't help this person. You can't, and so all things are possible, right? Mark 9, all things are possible to him who what? Who believes. All right, so, you know, that's our problem is we're discovering what we believe. What do we really believe? What it really is to us truth. Okay, so we're discovering that. All right? But Christ is helping our lack of belief with revelation. But who believes in revelation? You know, the fact that our heart is healed by revelation, by truth coming into our heart, and that becomes a whole new concept on the table to accept. But how does it get there? It gets there through revelation. No, it only gets there through pounding the word. No, doesn't get there through pounding the word. The primary method of learning and understanding is revelation, not the word. The word is built a foundation and salts and gives us concepts that we need to take and look at and work through our system. But the primary method, Christ said in Matthew 16, that opens the shut doors is what? Revelation. That's the primary method for Christ opening up us, is revealing things to us that are, according to Jeremiah 33:3, impossible for us to pursue. We can't go get them.
Well, then therein lies the answer to your first question earlier. Why has the church not been doing it? Well, because the church believes that revelation was done and put right into here, and that's all the revelation you need.
That's all they have.
That's all you have.
That's the
but there's no
mechanics.
more coming.
Right. Well, that's the same
The
premise
lie.
where
It's a
we
lie from the pit of hell.
we fall off this ledge that the church built after Acts. It's a ledge they built. We fall off of it. You understand that? Into darkness. Because the church doesn't understand that the dispensation of faith and grace only started in Acts. Didn't end in Acts. And that's the problem. The church is saying that while we're reading, what we're reading is that there's an absence of the healing power. Why is there an absence of the healing power? Because you're looking at it with underdeveloped vision. And if you expand your vision, if you see with God's eyes, you would see that there is no falling off of the power. That it is a continuous system of healing that God established, okay, teaching us to freely see what we've received, what we've been given. So it only started here. It didn't end here. So what the church is reading is its own inept ability and its dimness of vision, and they're reading that and they're saying, this is what we're in right now. You say, but that's only because you don't have the faith to walk in what is written, the truth. You don't have the faith to walk in it. So your vision is crushed. Your vision is pulled down, okay? So you're reading that as the status quo. It is the status quo, but it's not what God established. It's true. There is a deficit in the church, but it isn't because of Christ. It isn't because the name changed or the power that's in the name has decreased. It's decreased in you. You're too narrow. You're way too narrow. Okay? Anyways, I want to give you something to look at for next week. I have an argument. Oh, both sides are terrible. Okay. I got to erase.
I got it.
I'm stuck with erasing.
You need a paper towel?
Nope, I got one. Okay, I want to give you an argument that you need to play with. It will really help you. Okay, so, 3 verses. It's James 2:9. Okay, Matthew 10:8, which we know about, and Hebrews 11:1.